Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name's Nell, and I am from jupiterstemple.com. So, just before we start, a quick note. As always, I have my little French bulldog next to me. She's just asleep to the right of the cards at the moment, and she's snoring away. So, if you do hear her, I do apologise, and I hope it isn't distracting. We are joined at the hip, we're glued together, so I cannot make any videos without the inclusion of my dog. So, I hope it isn't too distracting. Okay. So as you can see, I've got some cards out on the table. Down here, there's an assortment there. There's a mixture, and this read really is just a simple spread. It's kind of one that I do every single day. What do I need to know today? I do that every single morning, and I thought I would use this as an example of how we weave together the story of the cards. Now, the reason I have the key 20 judgment sitting at the bottom is because I always pull 3 cards. I don't know why I do that. It's just something I've done from the beginning. It just feels right to me. And then I turn the bottom of the pack, and I always see what that extra card is. Now, for me, it's very important to have a 4-card spread, because when you need to have a simple question, because you what do I need to know today? Because you give the cards a chance to get all of the suits, all of the elements out there. And I can immediately see what I'm missing, which is the element of air. Logic, that makes sense. But I can see that that's missing from there. Judgment would be fire, and I do have, let me just pass it and I'll pop it on top here. I do have this little PDF that I've done, just whipped up really quickly, and it has all of the astrological or planetary associations as well as the element. Okay, that will be free with the video, so please do feel free to click on that. But yeah, I can see that I haven't got air. That's the first thing I noticed. I have the 2 of Cups, I have the 10 of Wands, I have the King of Pentacles, and then, as I said, at the bottom I have Judgment. So I always like to lay the cards down one at a time, because you can be so overwhelmed with all of the cards at once, and we need to build upon the story. We need to get the energy flowing. We need to recognize what we're being told, rather than being sort of bombarded and overwhelmed. So I always start off with the middle card, that would be the 10 of Wands, which would be the overriding theme of today. And that there is the 10 of Wands. Now, if we go to the root meaning of the 10 of Wands, it can be many, many, many things. Okay, so it could be, for example, separated from your vision. It could be constant conflicts. It could be burdened. It could be overwhelmed by responsibilities, taking on too many responsibilities. It could be your problems aren't going away. It could be taking on all the weight of the relationship, and while the other person isn't. It could be many, many things. And then if we slip over there to the 2 of Cups, we'll go to the root meaning of the 2 of Cups, and that would be a partnership, a union, 2 persons coming together. It could be mutual respect. It could be infatuation, or the beginning of a relationship, of course, because we're dealing with the cups. It could be 2 people bringing wisdom. And if you're not in a relationship, it could be, and not wanting to be, it could be that you are learning to balance yourself with emotions. And if you are in a partnership, it could be, coming together over an idea, or a concept, or a situation that's happened, and you're coming together. And it could also be incredible passion. Okay, so there's many, many things. And then we come to the the King of Pentacles, and we see here a king. He loves to be top of his game. He has wealth. If we look there, he has power, he has prestige, loves luxury, a very sensual and earthy, solid type of person, very financially responsible, and a very acute sense of what's feasible and practical. Perhaps he could be a workaholic. And um, if I were to get this in a love reading, at the beginning of a love reading, for me, this is someone who perhaps needs strong, or there is a strong financial security needed, or is there. We can also see here that he has his armor, so he's ready to go. He's ready to defend. Um, he has the cap of maintenance around, and that surrounds the throat. For me, that's always someone who can speak passionately, knows what they're talking about, really is the expert of their work or their subject. Okay. Again, we can go even deeper. We can go alchemically, and we can see that the throne is black. Yes, it has the astrological ones, but I don't really want to go into that today. But we can see the throne is black in alchemical terms. That could be regeneration. Has many tries to get things right. There's just so much. So that can be completely overwhelming, right? If we think it has so many meanings, one context is everything. So if you have a particular question, if we were thinking about a love reading, we could, tie this together, perhaps. If it's like a general question, or your client or yourself, what do I need to know today? And you're stuck with all those root meanings, what do you do? Okay, so this is how I do it. It's by no, what means the only way to do it, but this is just a clue into one way that you could do. I look at the cards. I take a step back. Mine is, the question today is general. What do I need to know today? And if we look at the cards, not judgment for the moment, but if we look at the cards, we can see they're separation cards. What do I mean by that? The figures are separated from the image portrayed at the back. So on the Two of Cups here, we have the house on a hill. On the Ten of Wands here, we have, it looks quite flat, but we have the house over in the background. And with the King of Pentacles here, we have the castle, and we have this wall, and the king is sitting this side of the wall. So he's not sitting inside the wall, inside his castle, enjoying all the luxuries. He's sitting this side. And yes, the wall is an extension of the castle. But what we see here is the king sitting this side. Now, when I got this reading, I first of all noticed the absence of swords, and I was like, right, okay. That's perhaps not an issue that I need to worry about today, but it's, well, not worry, I shouldn't say that, but that's not an issue I should focus on today. And the focus is very much on this, and this is where judgment and the root card of judgment comes in. So, judgment, really, another word I like to use for judgment is regeneration. Resurrection is another fantastic word for this, because it's seeing things that you haven't seen before. It's like revaluation and new and altered perceptions of your life, or whatever is going on. It's moving on from past experiences, or a release of life. It's accomplishment and seeing things. It's an awakening, perhaps even moving away from a lower state. In that case, it would be a resurrection, as we actually see in the cards. And it could also be Gabriel revealing some truth, the Archangel Gabriel there revealing some truth. So it can be many, many things. Now, this is where we have to bring in intuition, okay? And it doesn't have to be that you really scary. I don't want you to be scared of this, because it can just be a simple thing that you see within the cards, that there's a patterning. Okay. Now, what do we see within the top three cards that's all the same, that they have in common? Yeah, that's right. It's the house. Okay. Or castle, but yeah, it's a dwelling. Okay. So that ties these cards together. And the fact that they're separation cards as well. And this is why judgment is here today, because it's saying, what do you need awakening to? What do you need to reevaluate? What do you need to address? Okay. Have you separated yourself? Have you separated yourself from feeling, from being? Have you separated yourself away from family, from friends, um, because of things at home, or because of you haven't got things at home? Do you feel separated? Do you feel isolated? Okay. Are you separated from your vision? What is your vision anymore? What are your desires? What are your goals? What do you really want? Do you feel guilty about what you want? Okay. You know, we all go through life with many, many different things and needs. And I think an overwhelming thing is that we want for other people, but we actually don't look at ourselves and think, yeah, do you know what? I deserve that. I deserve to have a bit of luxury. I deserve to have, an extra um, a few pounds in my bank account. I deserve to have that holiday. I deserve to go on that course. So it, the ones for me are your pure desire, and it's okay to have. We need to release ourselves from this, when we're in the spiritual community, that it's not good to have and desire things. That's totally not correct. The King of Pentacles. Are we separated from money, how we look at money, how we experience money? Are we separated from our courage? Are we separated from feeling and being and enjoying and that sensual pleasure? For me, that was the overriding theme of today, the separation. And it doesn't, just because you see a house, it doesn't have to be a house per se. It doesn't have to, but are you separated from feeling safe, from feeling secure? And it really could be, are you feeling separated from a house? This really could be a reading where someone is wanting to buy a house and or wanting to rent a house, and there's obstacles in the way. So it really could be, and that's where you would have back and forth with your client. But what you truly need to do is, yes, understand the root meanings, okay, but that's just part of it. The other huge important part of it is your intuition and finding something that binds these together to tell a story. All right. And I can totally relate to this. I can totally relate to, yeah, I feel I have separated from my vision. I feel that I have separated from my courage. I have separated from um, being successful. I want to shy back. Okay. And yeah, I have separated from friends and family a little bit. Many reasons. One, because of location, and two, because I'm just so busy. My workload is intense, and I it just seems to be all work, all play, lots of responsibilities, and not that connection, not that union. So I can really, really relate to this, and I can, I welcome Archangel Gabriel's advice here, and I really would love to have that reevaluation, um, have radical change whereby I am reaching my goals. I understand and know my goals. Okay, that's the first important step, is to really know what you're asking for, really know what it is that you desire. So yes, I hope you found this helpful, and we'll do more cards on tying things together and advice cards. Like today, this for me was my advice card, this judgment here. And I will spend some time looking at my goals, reevaluating how I can connect again, how I can um, not be so separated. And of course, what you could do is ask the tarot, but that would be another video. But we could ask the tarot what advice it would have for me to establish this connection again. So, yeah, I hope this has been helpful. I shall be linking the elemental guide below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.